Datasets in the repository should be accompanied by adequate documentation. Documentation describes the nature of the research project, the context of data collection, the data files, and even variables within the files. Documentation helps ensure that users who may be unfamiliar with the research project can reuse the data. At minimum, documentation should include a README file. A README file is a brief description of the files and the project. README files can include elements like the title of the dataset, the principal investigator or creator of the dataset, keywords that describe it, funding for the project, a description of the dataset as well as a description of the project itself, dates of data collection, methods of data collection including any instruments or tools used in the process, any geographies that are important to the data collection, a listing of the files included in the dataset, including a description of each file, any licensing terms that have been applied to the dataset, as well as a recommended citation. Other information can be included as well if you think it'll be useful for your users. You can use any software to create a README file, but make sure to download it in plain text format so that it's universally accessible. Once you've downloaded your text README file, you can upload it along with the other files in your dataset. You might consider tagging the files in your dataset in order to help users understand the type of information they're likely to find in each file. To do so, select the file, select Edit Files and Tags. From there, you can assign a tag such as documentation, data, code, or any other tag that you think is relevant. Other types of documentation that you might consider including in your dataset include codebooks that describe variables and codes used in tabular datasets, user guides that describe in detail the nature of the project, as well as any special software that might be needed to use the files, or command or syntax files associated with the data.